Frank Warren, thanks for speaking to us. So you're here to announce Nathan Cleveley fighting Karpency next month, Motorpoint Arena, February the 25th. Now, Karpency is ranked as number 11 by the WBA. Some people are saying this is going to be an easy fight for Cleveley, though. Do you think there's any justification to that?
I think there's no justification for it. He's a top 10 ranked fighter. He's there on merit, and at this stage of Nathan's career, I think it's a good opponent for him to fight. We're limited by. I mean, would I like him to be fighting Bernard Hopkins or Chad Dawson right now? Absolutely. But the problem we've got is that the only date available in the venue down here is February, and that's the CIA, and we're limited by the capacity, which is less than 5,000, so that's where we're at. And you're not going to be putting a fight on such as a Hopkins or a Chad Dawson or any of those big names in a venue that size. And I don't want, and plus the fact they're not even ready to be, so I understand, neither of them are ready to fight on that date anyway, even if we had a bigger venue. I need Nathan to be busy, I need to keep him busy, and more importantly, people should focus on this as a homecoming for him into Cardiff. It's the first time, I think, for 4 years that he's fought in Wales. So it's a chance for people in Cardiff to come and celebrate their only world champion, Britain's only full world champion at the moment, and come out and see him. Come and see him before he goes on to bigger and better things.
What happened with Shumenov as well? You said that an offer was made to his camp. They're saying otherwise. Can you just clarify what actually happened there?
Well, an offer was made to them. There was a telephone calls, and there was actually an offer made in writing. They're talking about going to Vegas and fighting in Vegas, but as I made it very clear when we made Nathan's fight against Tony Bellew and we went to Liverpool, I said his very next fight would be in Cardiff. I promised him that he would fight in Cardiff, and that's why we're there. Shumenov doesn't want to come here, so maybe we can do something for the next fight. We've got a lot of options, providing he beats Karpency. If he beats him and beats him well, then June we're looking at maybe doing a big show at Cardiff City, open air show, and all those guys fit the criteria for him to be in the opposite corner.
Like you say, if Nathan can pull off a win, if it is a convincing win, do you think this could secure then a future fight with Hopkins or with Shumenov, with Clyde, with Dawson by the end of the year?
Oh yeah, but I don't think by the end of the year. I think we want to get it done in June. We're looking for a name in June, and we will deliver a big name in June. But he's got to look good and do the business in February.
Joe Calzaghe's gone on the record this week as saying that he doesn't see the Hopkins-Cleveley fight ever happening. He believes that Cleveley doesn't have the presence in America to sell the fight, but he also believes that Cleveley is too dangerous an opponent for Hopkins to actually risk taking on. Do you see any truth to that?
I see only one of those things being true, that Nathan would be dangerous for him. Because I think, I studied Hopkins for years, and when I was promoting Joe, and I made it very clear that I always felt that Joe would beat him, which he did. And I think it's a tough fight for Nathan at this stage of his career. Hopkins a very, very, he's a quality world champion, but I think Nathan would have the beating of him. But where Joe is wrong, that there are ongoing talks, and it's all about one thing with Bernard Hopkins, is how much. And if we can get the number that he's happy with, he will be here.
And there's some great moments coming up for Box Nation as well. Can you give us your thoughts on, we'll start with Chisora and Klitschko. How do you see that going?
Well, Derek's a big underdog, huge underdog. Everybody's riding him off, and I think they're wrong to do so. He showed in his last fight, which was a terrible decision. Everybody, the whole world who watched it, everybody who watched that knew that he won the fight, he didn't get the decision. Talk about Amir Khan, that was a robbery. Amir Khan should watch that and he'll see what a robbery was. Big guy Hellenius, who's now ranked number 1 in the world, who everybody's saying was the next big thing, would I think that Derek beat him by a good 4 or 5 rounds minimum. I think Freddie Roach and Thomas Hauser on American TV scored him even by a bigger margin. I think it was 8 and 10 rounds. Can he win the fight? Vitaly Klitschko is a great fighter, been a great fighter. His style is not changed, his style is what it is, and it's if you can crack that style. And I think Derek has the wherewithal to do that. And we'll find out on February the 18th if that's going to be the case. It's a tough fight, but I think he's got a really good chance.
What about Burns as well, with his homecoming fight in March? How's preparations for that going, and any news of an opponent?
Well, they're going very well. It's going to go on at the Braehead Arena, and we're going to announce the opponent tomorrow. It'll be a good opponent for him if we finalise what we're trying to do. He's got a very good record, and he'll bring out the best of Ricky. I think Ricky's one of the most probably the most improved fighter in Britain, bar none. He's beaten some good fighters. In Martinez, who was ranked number 1 in the super featherweight division when he won that title, he went in there as a bigger underdog as Derek Chisora did against Klitschko, and won the fight and won it in style. He did the same in beating Castides. A lot of people thought that was going to be a mismatch, and he done a job on him. And I mean, he can go on to some good things. He like Nathan, he's a really nice guy, and I think that he can go on and unify titles.
And how does it feel to get Kevin Mitchell back in the ring as well next month?
Well, he had a good year and a bad year last year. He had a good year when he beat John Murray. It was a good win for him. Tough fight, and he came through that. And then everything fell apart when he got himself into trouble outside the ring, which took away all the good things that he'd done. Now that's all behind him, and he's got to make sure that 2012 is his year. He fights at York Hall, I think it's on February the 10th in London. He has really got to pull out all the stops. He can't afford any nonsense outside the ring. He's got to be 100% focused, and I hope that we can get him and Ricky Burns into the same ring in June, and that will be fabulous for the fans, and everybody, I'm sure, will enjoy watching that on Box Nation.
And finally, what can the fans expect to see from Nathan next month and the show you're putting on in Cardiff? What can they expect to see?
Well, we've not announced all the show yet. We're going to put another title fight on there, which we will do, and there'll be a number of fights featuring some of the best young fighters from Wales. And I think we're going to get some fireworks on the night. At least I hope so. And I just wanted to celebrate what we've done here. You know, Nathan's to come back here after 4 years. I think he deserves that. He deserves to fight in front of his home fans, and hopefully by maybe in the next 18 months or so that they might build an indoor arena here in Cardiff that'll seat 10,000, and we can put shows on more regularly.
Thanks for speaking to us. Thank you.